What is going on, everybody? We are back to our normal schedule. I have returned and we're bringing back the vlogs. We're going to be bringing you guys along with our jobs today. So we have two down here and we have to collect some money on a third. The first one that we're going to be going to is an overheat on a Supra. Guy's been working on it for like a month. While I was away, I was on the phone with him, giving him things to try and to look at, and he said no matter what, the motor just keeps on overheating. He did an impeller, he did the impeller housing, the entire pump, and he looked at a bunch of stuff that was clogged, so we'll see if our magic fingers can fix that. Second one is an easy one, installing a battery switch. After that, we're gonna pick up some moolah, and then we're heading back, and we have another video which is on the boat that the drive shaft blew up on and tore all the bellows up. We almost sunk the boat, and then we buffed it. I believe the clips for that are going to be in the next video, but we'll keep this one going and just kind of vlog it. So we stopped at AutoZone. We picked up a battery cable. I have the connectors. I was going to make one, but I don't have any cable left. So we picked up some battery cable for the battery switch job. And then we just stopped and picked up some screws at the True Value. So yeah, Grant's with me today. He's gonna be filming and helping, and we're almost to the lake, so we're gonna get after it.
It got dark there for a second.
Grant, say hello to the wonderful people of YouTube.
Hello, wonderful people of YouTube. It's the first time I've ever done that. Probably a bad idea.
Grant's new to this thing.
I don't know what's going on. I just work here.
Real. All right, so we'll give you guys some updates when we get there and show you what we're working on. I'm gonna try with the vlogs to actually like film everything. I know that's something we haven't done a good job of, so like we'll just show up to the job, fix it, and then show you guys after. But we'll try and go through like the whole diagnostic process, especially on this overheat, and see if we can fix it. Okay, bye. All right, everybody, we're up in the boat, and we just dropped it to the water line. I don't want it fully sitting in the water yet. It's got an Inmar 5.7. You guys have seen me rebuild these engines. These are pretty simple to work on, so hopefully it's going to be a simple issue. We just talked to him on the phone. I just wanted to confirm a few things from me talking with him. So he's replaced the impeller housing. He's taken the thermostat out and ran it with the thermostat out. The water pickup on the hull he pulled off, and he said there's super good flow there. But on the output of the impeller housing, when he pulls the hose off, he's not getting any water shooting through. That makes me think it's an issue with the pump, but he put a new pump on it. So we're gonna kind of start from the impeller. I'm gonna open this up so I can lay in there. We'll try and have like Grant up here or something. It's under the muffler, so it's kind of a PETA to get to or to film, but we'll get the impeller out, take a look at that, see what it looks like, compare it to a new one that I have. Compare the length, because like he said it was the right pump, but obviously we're going to check everything, and we'll just kind of go from there. So I'm going to get in the hole. Whoa, what's that? Alrighty. Alright, everybody, so in a V-drive boat, you have the engine, which is facing backwards. So that end is the front of the engine, this is the back. Down in here we have transmission up to this point, nope, up to this point, one of the two. So there's transmission, then this is V-drive. This takes the input from this direction and converts it to that direction. So down here on the bottom of the hull, this is our water pickup. So the water comes through the hull here, comes up and around, goes into the V-drive. The V-drive is constantly cooled. Water goes through the V-drive, comes out here, and from here it goes to the front of the engine into the impeller housing. That's our feed. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pop this side of the hose off. He said that he took the hose off down there. He said he's got flow. So I'm going to check that this section through the V-drive has good flow. If we dump this boat in the lake and this starts pissing out, then we know the V-drive's good, it's getting enough. So then we'll move up to the impeller housing and pop the hose off there and check that. Okay, so this side of the hose is off. We're not fully sitting in the water, but this is literally bone dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the lift down, and Grant's going to watch and let me know if water starts spewing out there. So we're floating now. We have no water there yet, but it's also above water line. But you would think that it would start splooging. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this end of the hose off and we'll see if we can physically see any obstructions or anything. But this hose is coming up above water line, but the pressure should be forcing water through this V-drive. So we'll take this side off. So we can get water in the hull this way. It's not a lot, but it's some water. I mean, I can't physically feel anything in here, but I don't like that it's not spewing up, but that's just how it is because this hose comes up above. Is it getting airlocked? Is that it? But you'd think they designed this boat like this for a reason. All right, we'll put these back on for now. I don't have my bore scope or anything to shove in there, but if this becomes an issue, we can take these elbows off and then take a look in there that way. But for now, we'll tighten these up. The reason we're gonna tighten them up is, especially with trying for a water issue, trying to find a water issue, you wanna make sure there's no leaks, because if these can suck air, it can cavitate, it can fill with air and get stuck, making air pockets so water can't come through. So we'll put these guys back on. Just quickly gonna look up this hose, just see if I could see like a big clump of something, which I cannot. So we'll hook this side back up and then we'll move to the impeller. Okay, so hoses are hooked up in the back. I'm on the starboard side of the boat. The hose runs underneath, up on the starboard side. So up here in the front, obviously, we have the exhaust going over this, which is gonna make things difficult, but we have the impeller housing, which is just underneath. It's brand new, you can see that. He says there's a new impeller in it, so what I'm gonna do, just trying to make things quicker, this hose comes off the impeller housing, goes into the transmission cooler. So there's tranny cooler line. Both of those just push fluid through here and cool the transmission fluid. There is a grate on the bottom side of it that sometimes weeds get stuck in, and from here it comes up to the thermostat housing. I'm gonna pop this hose off the thermostat housing, we'll run the engine and see if we're getting any water up here. We're making a long video, Grant. We gotta film everything. Every hose clamp coming off. All right. Give her the old twist and pull. All right, so I'm gonna leave this like this. I'm gonna hang on to the camera and I'm gonna have Grant go start the engine. Seg keys are in it and we'll see if we get any water flow out here. Alrighty, so battery's dead. You'll have that. That's why I keep a jump pack in my truck. Grant's gonna run up and get that, and then we'll crank her. All right, go ahead, fire her up. Go ahead, shut it off. Interesting. So it burped just a little splooge of water. We didn't really give it enough time to prime, but it should have filled up. So now I'll take the impeller cover plate off and we'll just take a look at this impeller, see what it looks like, and kind of go from there. This is the spline type. With a keyway type, something I've seen is customers will do their own impeller. They push the keyway off as it's going in, so the actual shaft is just spinning, but it's not actually spinning the impeller. But with this keyway style, not the keyway, with the spline style, that's not possible. But there's only one way to find out. This is gonna be really hard to show. I might get an iPhone clip, but I'm gonna have to lay under and try and get that off. All right, so here's our impeller plate. I always leave the top screw in because these are directional. They will only go in one way. You can see it got hot. There's some rubber there. The O-ring stayed with this. I don't know if he glued it or what, but we'll set that down. Now I'm gonna have to go and film a video on my phone with the flash on and just see what it looks like. We'll probably pull it out and replace it anyway. It honestly looks fine. It honestly looks fine. So for you guys watching, that's our thumbnail pic. So here's what the impeller looks like. You can see it got hot, but I don't know. Does it look like the right impeller? I'm gonna pull it out. Actually, I'm gonna have Grant crank the engine while I film a video of this, and we'll see, we'll just make sure it's spinning the right way and see if we can see anything weird going on. It's probably a stupid thing to do, but we'll see. All right, so we've got the old impeller out, which looks brand new. There's no issues with this. It's the same length as the one I have that I know works for these. We pulled off the tranny cooler hose. There's no obstructions there. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna put this impeller in it, just for the hell of it. We're gonna put the plate back on the impeller housing. We're gonna run it with the tranny cooler disconnected, and then we're gonna try, if none of that works, it's gotta be an issue with that getting airlocked at that loop coming up. So it's gotta be an issue with the feed side, and we'll go from there. Holy shit. It's got to be an issue with the water feed side. I can feel the impeller pushing air. The seal's good on the plate. Don't know why there's exhaust. I'm going to begin messing with that feed hose because that thing really should be pushing a bunch of water through when we unhook it. So it's got to be an issue with that. Alright everybody, we found it. So, I shortened this hose a little bit because there was a loop that was going too high here, and I think it was getting airlocked. So I pushed down on this to get water flow started, and if you can see down there, we're peeing water out. And if water's coming out, that means when it's trying to suck, it's going to be sucking air in through here, and that's why the system's not priming. I'm pretty sure it's a zinc. I have no clue how I'm going to find one. The timing on that was actually perfect because the jump pack just died. We were going to run it one last time, so that makes perfect sense. So I don't have anything here to repair this properly. I'm going to take a pick, try cleaning it out and just seeing if it is threaded, and then I will have to look up a parts diagram and see if I can get a zinc for it. And we'll put one in, and I guarantee that'll fix it. So that makes sense. Glad we figured that out. We're just going to have to let them know that now the boat is leaking water. So if you put it in, it is going to sink out. Sweet. So we spent...
And there's batteries there.
about an hour here. Just looking at stuff. Yeah. So there's our first job. Now we can move on to the second. Obviously we have to get everything closed up and I'll call him, but... Sweet. Alright. Called the last customer, let him know everything. He got her fixed, he's happy. We're at the next job. This one's just a quick, easy battery switch install. We have a battery switch. Nope, they ordered the battery switch. We have a cable for it. They got a 2-position switch. There's only one battery, so I'm just gonna be finding where to put it, doing all that. Yeah, I'm hot.
It's getting warm.
Bet you we wouldn't be warm if we were using Stark Yacht Care products.
Or they're closing.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so we're gonna hop in there. I don't know if we can film here. We might grab some clips on the iPhone. That's probably what we'll do, is film on the iPhone. Just gotta figure out where to mount this switch, put it in there. She said she was gonna slip it under the passenger seat. And then we will be on our way to the boat from hell. Okay, bye. What is up, everybody? We are back for the rest of this video. So quickly, we'll catch up on what was done in the last, not in the last clips, but the last boat that you guys saw me work on. Yesterday it was raining super hard, so we didn't film repairing the Supra that we were working on with the overheat. But that boat, put the plug in, ran it up to temp. Everything worked out great, so no issues there. Obviously the battery switch one we finished, but since this is a vlog, we're gonna be finishing up this video here in the shop and picking up a boat today. But obviously, I've moved some belongings in. So, I have all this stuff. These are extra benches, my desk, stuff like that. And we're gonna spend some time setting up the shop, getting everything organized. I've just dumped stuff in here, so now is the time for me to get everything put away, organized the way that I want it. Obviously, I do have my boat in the back over there, which is just a beauty. If you guys are new here and you haven't seen any of the videos working on this boat, we have a bunch of videos building that. and now it's actually in a usable state. I also have the jet ski, and we're gonna be picking up a deck boat today for some fiberglass repair as well as a trim issue. So that's gonna be coming in. And I do have some stuff to finish up on my truck. Unfortunately, the old EcoBoost blew a turbo and a ball joint last week, so that was fun. Replaced the ball joint, got on the road, everything was fine. Turbo blew, and doing that in a parking lot kind of sucked. But I think what my plan is I'm gonna move all this stuff out of here because all of this is pretty much gonna go in that area. I just don't know how I wanna do that yet. But I'm gonna get everything moved out. As I put stuff away, I'm gonna start organizing stuff and get all my tools organized, because after doing that turbo, everything just kind of got thrown in the bag. And we'll be hanging some hose reels and stuff today. And yeah, pretty much getting us set up for success in here. So yeah, I have no clue where I'm gonna start. All right, everybody, so we got cleaned up a bit. Obviously, I can walk through here now. I did a lot of squeegeeing. There is a leak in that corner of the door, and it kind of lets water in back there. So squeegeed that. I'm gonna have to get some spray foam and just seal that up a little bit, and that should solve our water issue in here. But we're partially organized. So currently, none of the outlets over here work. That's gonna get fixed soon. But what I did just order is some hex lighting for up under the mezzanine. I like the way they look. That looks. I was gonna put some on the wall for like doing boats. Maybe this is kind of the tester. I need some lights up under here, and I still want to do something with either a slat wall back there or like the vinyl flooring, but on the wall. I like the way that looks. But for now, we're pretty organized for the most part. There's still a lot of stuff to put away, but I don't have a lot of places for it. I need some more shelving. That's the next big thing, shelving, lighting. But essentially right now, all I'm waiting on is a call from another marina letting me know that the customer's trailer's ready. As soon as I get that, I'll head out there to grab the trailer, and then I'm driving the boat out of the lake, bringing it back here, and I'm gonna start buffing and figure out what the trim issue is, but I might do a different video with the trim issue. But yeah, looking pretty good. Starting to get set up. I know I wanna have a desk area, I just don't know what I'm gonna do with it. So for now, the desk is just gonna sit right here, and I'll put a chair there, but this is pretty much it. Lots of bench space. I do have another bench coming that I'm probably gonna put right there and move all that stuff. But yeah, for now, while I wait, I'm gonna pull my truck in, and like I said before, I had to put a turbo in it, so I took the inner fender out and I never put the inner fender back in. So now I'm gonna get that inner fender in, get everything kind of buttoned up. I do need to change the oil on it, so I might still do that today. But we'll see how long it takes for them to get the trailer pulled. For now, let's get this truck in here. Okie dokie, so truck's finished up, got the inner fender in, topped her off with oil because there was a little oil leak out of the oil feed return line. I think that gasket's backwards, to be honest, but just got the phone call. We're good to go get this trailer, so we'll grab the trailer. The only issue is I'm alone, and I'm gonna have to make quite the hike because I'm gonna have to park the truck and trailer at the boat launch and then go for a hike up to the house, grab the boat, and then we should be okay. So let's get out of here. All right, so on top of the buff, this boat's coming in for the trim gauge not working. I just reached back there while I was idling out, and it was unplugged. The connector just came separated a little bit, so we're plugged in now. trim gauge seems to be okay, but he also says it'll randomly just trim itself up. Only 111 hours on this boat. And once we get back to the shop, I'll show you guys the outside. She needs some loving, but 1.6 mile walk. Now we're bringing her back, and let's get her out. Here she is. I'm sure this is gonna be a nice navy once we're done with it. But right now, she is a bit ugly. Alrighty, we are back to the shop and we have the Fun Deck 232 back here. That was kind of a stressful ride, a lot of traffic, but you can see why it's in here. This gel coat, ooh, that sound made me tingle. Gel coat's in very bad shape. He also wants the decals replaced, but I think we're gonna have to special order those. But this gel coat could use some loving. If you guys wanna see that video, make sure to subscribe. I believe it'll be the next one out. We'll do the full gel coat restoration on this and make her shine again, and hopefully find some decals for it. I believe that's where I'm gonna leave you guys for this video. I don't know how much we have in here. I might pick up the camera tomorrow and do the hex lighting up here and include that in this video, but I'm not entirely sure yet. We've still got a lot to do, a lot to set up to make this place efficient. I want to do essentially a fiberglass station with it'll be a big rack made out of steel. I'll weld it, and then we'll have all the different rolls of fiberglass on there, kind of like a resin station, stuff like that. I'm gonna do the fiberglass section, a detailing section, and we gotta get some stuff hung so we can actually, the first thing we need to do is get water, because I need to wash this boat first before we do anything, because she's a little scary, a lot of spider webs. So we'll get that thing scrubbed, then we'll do the gel restoration on it, and there's also another issue, which originally he thought that it was trim. This whining noise was the trim pump running while he was driving. But it is not, it is the fuel pump. So luckily I can overnight a fuel pump for this. So I just have to go home, get all that approved, we get an estimate made up. And does anyone have any recommendations on Wi-Fi? Is Starlink that good? Because I'm thinking about getting Starlink in here. And that way I could bring it with me other places. I don't know how that works. So if anybody has any input on that, on shop Wi-Fi, let me know.